Gemini, what is up with you? I'm Desi, this is my channel, Starchaeology Tarot. I am so thrilled that you are here, that I get to connect with you in this way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, you know what? Thank you for devoting yourself to your own development. That's what tarot is all about, and I respect and admire every person who's alongside me in this journey. It's just a joy to get to see how many people there are who are devoted to this lifelong commitment of introspection, reflection, self-growth. Do you want to know what February is about? What messages are waiting for you right now from the divine? I am so curious to do some uncovering and discovering for you. If you have an intention you would like to set with this reading, if you have a question you'd like to ask, if you have a burning desire that you just, I don't know, want some more info about, take the time now to focus on that as I tune in with spirit and shuffle. Some of this is going to resonate with you and some of it won't, and that's totally chill, because guess what, Gemini? There's only one of you, and you are so much more than your sun sign. This is good for Gemini, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. If you want a more complete picture of the very unique recipe that you are, watch the other videos for your other placements. You'll get a more full puzzle, as opposed to just a single puzzle piece, which is what this video is. But you know what? A puzzle piece is still fun, and it's still good. So thanks for being here. Wow, I'm too excited. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. Well, if I am, then it was meant to be forgotten. Gemini, let's begin. Gemini, February, there may be some conflict that you come into, but hold up, don't freak out, don't be sad, because you know what? This conflict is exhilarating. This conflict is something that makes you feel alive and full of purpose, something that sharpens your direction and sharpens your passion and sharpens you as a human being. What is your focus? What are you aiming towards? All of that is being sharpened by this conflict for whatever reason. Sometimes I think that it's really easy for us to think, oh, for those of you who feel like, conflict, I am afraid of conflict, I don't want to be near any conflict, which is very much a cultural, I think a cultural belief, a cultural sentiment that many of us share. It's really a good reminder that sometimes conflict, meaning coming up with any obstacle, facing any obstacle is conflict. And it's only through obstacles in our path are we able to then tinker with our path until we point it in just the right direction that is right for us. If there were no obstacles, if there was no conflict, we'd walk so much further down paths that were not meant for us. These obstacles, these moments of conflict are redirecting experiences. They are the hand of God reaching in to reposition us so that what we are doing actually aligns with what we say we want to do, what we say is important to us. And the Seven of Wands I often think of as the advocate card. Advocacy is such a perfect way of thinking about conflict in a positive light. There is so much to be gained by standing up against opposition, to speak out for what you know is right, whether it's on behalf of someone else or on behalf of your higher self. of you in this life, you and your very precious goals and dreams that you're advocating for. Conflict is a way that we fine-tune those dreams. Conflict is a way that we fine-tune ourselves. You are in a process of fine-tuning, Gemini. You are figuring out what is important to you. By facing conflict that forces you to answer that question. And we have two very masculine cards here then, the King of Wands plus the Emperor. For some of you, this conflict is against is up against an authority figure. Sorry, excuse me. Oh my God, please don't get hiccups right now. Okay, I'm okay. One sip of tea helped. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So this is... Oh yeah. So for some of you, this conflict that you are facing is conflict against an authority figure in your life. Could be a father figure. It could be your literal father. It could be a father figure. It could be any sort of masculine overbearing energy in your life. And by masculine, I don't mean it has to be male, but masculine in the sense that someone is trying to project their structure, their rules onto you, onto your life. And they're doing it with such authority. They've done it with such authority up until this point. And they've gained so much of your respect and admiration that you usually willingly maybe do work inside their rules, accept what they're projecting onto you. Whether it is to win their love, their validation, their admiration and respect. This also could be not a specific person. This could literally be, the Emperor often represents society. The rules of society, the structure of society that feels solid, you know, not fluid. This is the solidity of society that can be oppressive. You are stepping up against this force. And guess what? You are stepping into your own authority to match this authority. This is a king and the Emperor, King of Wands and the Emperor. But the difference is that this authority that you are now listening to, that this small voice that you are hearing, and you're saying, oh, that's the voice that I want to serve. That's the authority I want to bow down to. That's the authority to which I have a duty. That is the ruler to which I have a duty. You are hearing that voice, recognizing it for what it really is. And it is completely rooted in your highest desires. And when I say highest, I don't mean the biggest desires in your life. I don't mean like this is your number one priority. What I mean is your most divine desires. Your desires that are aligned with your highest self and your highest path, which means it's good not only for you, but it's good for everyone around you. It's good for the world. Our highest desires are pure. We're often, I think, trained, conditioned by society to think of our desires often as bad, as just inherently bad. I'm bad for wanting this. I'm bad for wanting this because that's not something that I can have. Or, oh, to want is to be selfish. The truth is, when we have a very pure desire that is just coming from love, it's not coming from fear. And you know the difference, Gemini. You know when you have a desire that's coming from well, if I only had this, then this would fix myself. Or, it's a more fear-based desire. It's an ego-based desire. You know the difference between that versus a desire rooted in love that feels expansive. That isn't relief, it's just gratitude. It's not a desire that's going to, that you're putting all your eggs into this basket because you're trying to make up for some childhood wound, some trauma in your past, some conditioning that is unhealthy for you. This desire is not in response to any pain. That is the key. A pure desire, a high desire, that comes from our highest self, that comes from the divine. It's not in response to anything. All that it is in response to is to our incarnation into human life. Spiritual beings being incarnated in human form. And being the spiritual beings we are, we come to this plane with spiritually rooted desires and goals. Those things come through us. They don't come from the egos that we develop here on this planet based on the minutia of our conditions, our environments, our nurturing. Does that make sense to you? So this King of Wands is driven by soul purpose. This is you, Gemini. You are fighting for your crown here. You are fighting for your throne here. You are fighting for your place against authority, against rules that don't serve you. You deserve to have a say in that. You don't have to bow down in blind loyalty to something that doesn't resonate with you, or that you see as problematic, or that goes in direct opposition to what your highest desire is. One's energy it's fiery, it can be spontaneous. Think of one's energy as wildfire. This is coming through you. And you do more in this situation in February to let the wildfire force your hand, rather than to try to put the fire out. This is a force of God coming through you, Gemini. This is divine power coming through you. What you can do, because this is the king, you are mastering going from just throwing yourself into the battle and honestly possibly enjoying the battle, enjoying the conflict, enjoying the struggle, using that struggle as a way to fine-tune yourself, your goals, your destiny. But you are shifting in February from chaos of battle to controlled use of that fire, controlled use of that energy, so that you can turn that fire in you into useful projects or long-term careers or sustainable creations, whatever it is you're creating, whatever you're bringing into fruition that you want, that you desire. For the King of Wands, he has this energy, this fire in him that burns so strongly that he cannot even understand other people's doubts or fears about him. That is what you are graduating into, Gemini, in February. You are getting to the place where the opinions or rules of this person, this father figure or this institution, this society, where those opinions don't make sense to you anymore. Not only do they not make sense, you don't have the time or space for them. You don't know why they would express any negativity towards this very pure desire that you have, towards this pure fight, the good fight that you are fighting, because you are fighting the good fight. I want to know what that fight is, Gemini. Comment below. What is the good fight for you? What is coming up for you in February that you are willing to throw yourself into battle for joyously? There is a kind of intolerance with the King of Wands because he has that fire that is burning so strongly for him that not only can he not understand the others who express negative attitudes, but he actually is unable to understand any doubt whatsoever. And this can sometimes be bad because it blocks empathy for others. But Gemini, this is the thing. This is not a time for empathy for you. This is not a time for you to try to understand others' pain while you are trying to fight this good fight. It's not a time for you to try to understand the other side. That's coming. Don't get me wrong. I'm hearing that very strongly from Spirit right now. Especially those of you who have a really hard time understanding the opposition or are very judgmental of opposition, of what you are up against. You will come into a time where you are humbled in that way. But this is not the time to do it. This is a time where that intolerance and the strength of your fire serves you, because it pushes you through the battle to the victory. And you need to experience that victory first. Coincidentally, the Emperor, being this society, being this father figure, traditionally provides stability and safety, foundation. You're fighting to transcend this source in your life, which might on the surface seem like stability, foundation, security. But you have to transcend it in order to find almost a new level, a new foundation, a new sense of security, a new kind of stability that is designed by you, not designed by someone else, not designed by others, that has been imposed on you. You're making your own rules in February, Gemini. You leave February in a place where you recognize your own authority to make your own rules on the path towards what you want, while fighting the good fight. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was inspiring, because what I feel like this is a battle cry. This is a battle cry. And again, me being who I am, I shy away from confrontation. I shy away from conflict with others so quickly. I am the ultimate people pleaser. I understand those of you who hear the word conflict and shy away, but if there is any time to fight, it is now. This battle cry should pump you up and also make you confident in your intention to fight through, to fight for your crown here, to fight for your voice, to fight for your own authority against the authority of others. There's not just one authority. I hope that makes sense, Gemini. We are all kings and queens. But some of us give our power away when we shouldn't be. The same way that we are all students, we are all teachers too. There will always be people we need to learn from. There will always be people we need to follow. And there also will always be people that we are leading whether we know it or not. This is a time when you are leading, Gemini. You are leading, and it is very important that you take on that responsibility to lead. Please comment below. Tell me what this is about. I'm so curious about the details of your life. And also, if you would feel like you want to, please like and subscribe, because that would just crack my heart straight open. I am so grateful that you are here. I'm so grateful you are a part of this little growing community. It means so much to me, you guys. I'm doing this to create a supportive, safe space for introspection, reflection, and self-development. Because we only change everything around us by changing ourselves first. If you believe that, you're cool. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Share this with anyone else who you think would dig that message. And I'm rooting for you in February. I've got your back, Gemini. I love you, and I'll see you next time.